to Let's Be Honest with Honesty J. Edwards. I've been telling y'all that I was bringing this show. I am highlighting Black females, women of color in business. I am here today with the Demetria Obilor. She is a journalist. She knows how to work that Instagram. She knows how to get on the news. This is a media personality. This is all things personality.
There you
all
go.
Personality. I mean, it's radiating off the couch. I mean, what can't you do?
Oh my God. That's that intro. I need that. I need all that good energy.
Was that
Thank
the
you
one?
so much. That's the one right there.
What's up, girl?
What's up? It's so good to be here with you, Honesty. I'm ready to get honest with you. And first things first, we have to clear the air. A lot of people think that I'm from Dallas because one of my, big moments in my career happened in Dallas, but I'm from KC.
And she is from the town. Don't get it twisted.
You already know
Demetria.
it. That's why we click so good together. I was like, oh, she's from the city. I'm like, I love that. Kansas City, Missouri, not Kansas City, Kansas. For everybody who doesn't know. We have to make the distinction because there's Kansas City, Kansas, and they think because Kansas City, Kansas, that's in the name, all of that, they forget about the Missouri side, but that's actually the real Kansas City. They forget about that. That's the home of the Chiefs, the Royals, the great barbecue, all of that.
You're going to piss off a lot of people with that. She don't care. She don't care.
I
I mean, because I'm from the Missouri side too, so I'm not, I'm not disagreeing with her.
We from KC, like that's what we do.
That's what we do. What part of KC you from,
I'm
Demetria?
from the 70s.
She from the 70s.
She can take a deep breath.
Yeah, because I done had people from the 30s, the 40s, all over the place.
And we're talking about Kansas City.
We're talking about the first time we talked, we was on the phone like 2 hours.
We were.
I don't remember what we were talking about, but we were introduced through a mutual friend, and we got on the phone, and it's that Kansas City.
It's a KC thing.
We from the Missouri side, and it is what it is.
But it's a beautiful thing, and I feel like when we, first got connected, I mean, just coming from Kansas City, you instantly have that connection. You feel that excitement because in the business that we're in, you see, very few of us. I mean, we got Eddie Griffin and all this kind of stuff, but it's like, where are our people?
Yeah.
And then you find one and it's like, okay, so you already know. Okay, you talking about Gates Barbecue. Like, we know a little bit about that. What's going on?
The Chiefs.
We talking about the landing. What are you talking about? That's where my parents met.
Oh, the landing, Lord.
It doesn't get more KC than that.
When's the last time you been to the landing?
It's been a minute, probably 2022. But the thing is that's where my parents met. That's how I'm here today. If it wasn't for the landing, I would never be here today.
Remember the little church store?
Uh-huh.
My mom used to get the little hat.
Yeah, the little hat.
In there, the little with the big dramatic.
What about Gold's Glamorama? You remember that?
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm gonna take you back there. I'm gonna take you back there.
And the popcorn.
Oh, Topsy's. That's my place.
Is
cinnamon
Topsy's
popcorn. I don't know. I go to the one on Brookside now, but
Topsy's down there, bro?
I feel like it should be.
I ain't nothing like no Topsy's,
I love
boy.
Topsy. See, people always talk about Chicago and they're like, oh, Garrett's popcorn. And I got mad love for my Midwest peoples, but I'm going to tell you, Topsy's is really, that's that sauce right there. They're the ones.
It's the sizzle.
They're really like that.
Yeah, they're like that. You know what? I'm going to go give me some tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to get a cherry limeade with some cheese and some caramel mix, maybe a little sprinkles of cinnamon, not too much, just a little bit, and I'm set. I'm ready to go.
All right, we finna cut because now I need to go downstairs and get some barbecue. She just got me hungry. We got this is how we do it out here. We got y'all can't see, but we got the barbecue going downstairs. We just in here.
As soon as I walked in, they had the smoker out, and I'm like, there's no real other way to cook barbecue.
Yep.
You're just cooking it on the grill. I'm like, okay, that's cool, but you got the smoker out, you got the brisket going, you got the beef ribs, the pork ribs. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
that's how we get out here.
We from the town. You heard her. We at least we all right.
I know.
Maybe.
I know.
Never know now.
We're out here in the suburbs for sure.
You never know out here though.
This is the burbs. I'm sorry. This is the burbs. I drove through, I don't know how many 15 meadows, saw bunnies. I saw, you know what I'm saying? Out in the 70s, we don't have all of that. Yes, that's what it looked like.
Dorothy might have ran through a field or two.
Exactly. It was beautiful. I mean, I love what Kansas City's becoming. So you look at the Chiefs and what they're doing for the city. And so now we've got eyes on KC. The airport coming. The last time I came here, the airport looked all old. You got like 2 bathrooms, asbestos probably growing on the ceilings. But now, I mean, it looks
not asbestos on the ceilings. Like. She came for the airport, like hard.
That's the original KCI airport. That's what it looked like. But now they have bowling.
And it's not.
It's beautiful.
You know what I was afraid of? Like I enjoyed being able to walk 2 steps and I was on the plane. Like I know one time I came, I was like 25. I checked in 25 minutes before the plane and still got on.
Wow.
Like it's crazy. Like and so when they built the new airport, I was like, dang, but am I going to be able to? Because you know it's in no man's land.
So you one of those holding up the whole plane? That's you. Okay, that's you. When I'm looking like
I've done it a time or two, but it's still not
like
bad
JFK or something like that. Yeah,
girl.
No, it's not.
Atlanta. Oh my gosh.
They always say that's the #1 airport in the world, and I know it's the busiest. But when you go to, there's barely enough seats at the gates. There's nowhere to sit.
I go to Atlanta often. It is just always something. It's always something. Why am I on this train for like 2 hours? Like it is just, and then it's like construction. I don't know.
There's always something going on.
It is always
Do you know
something.
what really kills me about Atlanta Airport, though? And I know anybody from ATL already knows what I'm talking about. You can buy Clear, but it's not necessarily going to do you any good. Sometimes general boarding moves faster than Clear. That's how many people have it.
It's just so congested.
It's crazy.
It stresses me out. Like I'm getting anxiety now. Let's change the subject.
Let's change the subject.
Girl, let's back it up. Where did you grow up in Kansas City?
I grew up in the 70s. 78th and Troost. I mean, so like what's around there? Like, I mean, you definitely have Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
You know, look, what you know about where, you know.
Everybody know about Seventh Heaven.
Down the street, we have Phase 2. I remember when Into Hair Naturally came about. That was a new natural hair salon right up the street from my house. And then, you know, down the street, like you got Wings and Things, all of that. And not too far the landing because it's all on Troost. You just keep going down. And so I'm really from KC. I told you.
You're from the city.
My parents met at the landing. That's how KC I am.
Yeah.
Like,
You're from the city too. You're not from the suburbs.
No. We grew up 78th. It was Troost and then it was Paseo right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not the 30s or the 40s and nothing like that. But it's still, you know.
You grew up.
We got a good mix. We had a good mix. But then I got my grandparents in the suburbs in Kansas. So when we was going trick or treating or something, they go really like all the good candy over there. So we go
big
there.
old trash bag.
They just leave
the trash bag.
You already know.
Oh, I are down in the down the Warren Parkway area, Plaza area.
Oh my gosh.
Woo!
That's when they leave the big candy bars
Cash out.
I know.
When we were off camera, I heard you talking about your name, and I know you got some juice to your name. You got a Nigerian.
Oh, we got lots of juice, babe.
Tell me your full name.
Yeah, so you know I'm Nigerian. My family is Igbo on my father's side from Imo State, and so my name Demetria, that's a Greek name, which means goddess of the harvest. Comes from Demeter, goddess of fertility, agriculture, all of this. I love my name. When I was a kid, people used to make fun of my name, but you know. But my middle name's Chinonso, which means God is near. That's a Nigerian name. And Chinonso. Chinonso. If you want to say it right, like, you know, when you're speaking Igbo, like it's a tonal language, so how you say things matters. So, but in English, you know, Chinonso is fine. But if I say it like in, like,
do it.
Chinonso, like,
hold on. Chinonso.
Do
You got to do the shoulder thing too?
Oh yeah, just a little bit of that little wink at the camera, like something like that. Chinonso.
I love it. What does that mean?
God is near.
Oh, always near.
Yeah.
Well, your parents let you. That's a dope name.
It's a beautiful name. My grandmother, my late grandmother, Nigerian grandmother, she gave me that name. When I was born, my mom and dad called back to Nigeria and was like, you know, give us the names. And so she gave me that. So she always called me Nonso. Like that was my name. And then I have a second middle name. It's Ogechi, which means in God's time, which I have come to truly love, even though I've been more so called Nonso, like my grandma. But Ogechi is so funny because I have no patience. And in this career, you have to have so much. And it's like, Ogechi, in God's time. It's like, remember, everything's in God's time. Not your time, Demetria, but in God's time, it's going to come to you. And so that was such a crazy, like, ironic reminder, like,
through your career.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think you're ministering to me right now because I've learned that a lot of times when I say, God, I want this, I need this, I know I'm ready, I was not ready. And it was not either the right door or the right time for me. When I look back and learn more, I said, oh, I would have blew that. Or this door closed and I'm sad and I'm crying about it and God, I thought this, that. And then another door opens that's even bigger. And if I would have done that, I would have got this opportunity. So in God's time is a real thing.
It's a beautiful
and that's
thing.
So perfect that you're named that.
I know, it's
so you
crazy.
can be reminded every time you say your name.
Yes, I know it's crazy because only in my, like, you know, my 20s, I was just like, oh, wow. I'm like, okay, that's crazy that's my name. I was like, I need that because I am so impatient.
Say it all together.
Demetria Chinonso Ogechi Obilor. Like, that's how you'd say it, like, if you were, like, you say Obilor like that.
That's sexy,
Demetria Chinonso Ogechi Obilor.
That's sexy. Listen, I know sexy when I hear sexy. That is sexy.
So maybe put that Ogechi on your say, you know, like that. Put that Chinonso.
With the, hey, hold on, and with the shoulder. She got the shoulder. You see that shoulder?
I'm a Nigerian girl. Like, it's my family. Like, I've been to Nigeria many times. Like, that's my family. That's who I am. Like, my brothers, they have Nigerian names. Kalechi, Ikena, Uzoma. So
that's beautiful.
Thank you.
For a beautiful woman.
Thank you so much.
So let me ask you something. What high school did you go to?
Okay, so I went to Lincoln. Prep. But before that, I went to UA when it was on Troost. Not the new nice UA that everybody sees and is so big and beautiful. I went to when it was one story, spread out, down on Troost. I don't know if it was 50-something inches. I can't remember. and it was different. It was a little different. And I was like, we're going to Lincoln. And so we went to Lincoln right out of that. Before that, for elementary school, I went to Border Star Montessori in Brookside. But before that, if you want me to really take it there, we were at elementary too before it became Border Star Elementary. And that's right by Paseo High School.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know some kids.
Yeah, no,
people be forgetting.
They forget.
They be forgetting.
You know, sometimes that, especially when you're out in the world and you're a TV personality and you're doing things, a lot of people see, they mark you where you are right there.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? And so.
And I don't mind sometimes because it's like, you know, I spent some of my career in Dallas and, you know, Texas always shows me love and I love Texas right back. So I spent a lot of time doing events there. And so people are like, oh, I thought you're from Dallas. I'm like, no, I'm not from Dallas, but I love Dallas. Now let's not talk about barbecue or nothing like that. You know, let's not go there.
They try to. They want to come. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. Now, I'm not gonna completely just, you know, dismiss Texas because Dallas did have some good barbecue spots. I have this new barbecue fun food series. Right now I'm focused on barbecue. Later I'm gonna get to other things because there's only so much barbecue you can eat. But I just did one at Gates, LC's. That's what I'm saying. A big beef rib. Yeah, something nice. That's what I like if you want to know.
Right.
But beef ribs, I love those. Burnt ends though, that's a Kansas City specialty. And so I was so happy when I came here. I got some LC's right off the bat. Just warm welcome as soon as you walk in the building. But I like Gates. So I went to 12th and Brooklyn, and so you can see that in this new episode I have on YouTube coming up soon. But it's
yeah, better follow her YouTube. We're gonna put it up right there. There you go, girl. I wanna talk about when you went to Lincoln. And your adolescence before you became an adult. Did you know that you wanted to be a personality? Did you know you wanted to be on TV? Did you know you wanted to be a journalist? What were your thoughts? What did you want to do?
Yeah, starting out, I mean, I had to look at what I was good at. And so in school, I wasn't like the best physical athlete or nothing like that, but I was into debate and I was into, you know, forensics, the performance of it, persuasive speaking and argument. And that's something that I absolutely loved and presenting information. And so I'm like, how can I apply what I'm really good at and what fields are available for that? So I'm like narrowing it down to like lawyer. So when I eventually went to Las Vegas to finish out my high school career, I had to make a choice. And I'm like, you know, I would love to have my own television show one day. And so I'm looking at people who have done that. And it's like, how do I, you know, do that? I did an internship at How 103 Chance. You know what I mean? Yeah, I did work.
Was that in college?
Yeah, later on. So I fast forwarded a little bit, but I feel like for me, I love presenting. I'm a people person. I love talking. I love creating arguments. I love just interacting with people. And I feel like throughout my career, you've seen that. I've interacted in every community that I've been in, hosting so many different events, getting involved in charities, all of that. Like I said, I mean, my first job ever was at Target, and I love it. This is one of my favorite jobs still to this day because I just got to talk with people and have a good time. So that's just me.
So you knew that you wanted to do something with people.
For sure. Something with people and television, and just I have strong opinions about things. And I think that once you built the confidence up, and my parents, you know, they always like to have these constructive arguments and stuff like this, these debates. And I would always be there. When I got old enough, I got to sometimes participate and say, no, I see what, and they would let me do that. And that really fostered that confidence that I feel like led to debate and forensics. And then from there, it's like, do you want to be a lawyer or do you want to
give your
commentary? Yeah. All of that kind of forming through those developmental years. And then came college and it's like, what do you want to do? Where do you want to take this? But I knew off the rep, I wanted to do journalism. So let me do journalism because that's, you know, the steps to getting.
So you knew that since you were a teenager.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to be president when I was in elementary school, but you know what I mean? I know. We can still try to do. Would you vote for me?
I would vote for you,
Would you vote for me? I would vote for you too. Yeah. I know. I think we see a little campaign right here, you know? President, vice president.
Share the presidency.
I know. There we go. Oh, share the presidency.
That's I don't see why they don't. Like,
that would be interesting.
Maybe smarter. We ain't gonna get it.
I know they're gonna get it. Like that election season. Yeah,
it's really making all the decisions for themselves.
Of course not.
Anyway,
of course not. And even when the president makes a decision, I mean, you still have to get the approval from Congress, and so it's just kind of like, you know. There's all that process, everything that's supposed to protect us doesn't always end up doing that. But I always
the opposite.
Exactly, 100%. And you already know. And so we're seeing a lot of that now. But
we're seeing too much of it right now. Girl,
you trying to dig in?
No.
We trying to get really. We trying to get honest.
Oh, you know what? Why she saying that? I'm so disrespectful. Demetria, let's put you up here. Where's my remote? Come on, let's put Demetria up here. Let's switch it up.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I know plug me in here, but I love your logo though.
Yeah, thank you.
I love the set. It's so beautiful. It's just gorgeous. I see all the attention to detail because I know as a director, that's just your life.
I can't help but to a fault sometimes. Sometimes people are like, honesty, I promise you it looks good. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a bug on the wall. Like, there she is.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I got my curls popping. Right now I got my hair straight because I need to get it trimmed. But this,
hey, look, they're looking at both looks.
Thank you. I know you got some looks. You gotta have some looks these days. You gotta switch it up on people. What do you mean?
Versatile.
Yeah, you already know.
So now you're going to college and you're studying journalism. Did you know exactly what you wanted to do as far as journalism goes, or did you just know in that area-ish?
Yeah, I know. I definitely, at that point when I went, because I went to KU, Rock Chalk, we didn't make it as far as we wanted to in that, championship, but it's all
couldn't
good.
wait.
I know, but football season's coming up, and now that we've got the 12-team playoff, we might see something on a football team. We used to be trash, but we're looking kind of better now. But anyway, yes, I did. I knew journalism school right off the bat, and I didn't want to waste any time. I graduated college early. I wanted to get going and everything.
How many years?
Before that, just three and a half. If I graduated in 2012, but it was supposed to be 2013, that's 3.
That's amazing.
I know, I did it. I wasn't playing around. I went to summer school sometimes. I just wanted to get started on my career, but I did know, and at KU, they offered this kind of dual approach to journalism. In the school, they had PR, they had advertising, and then they also had just the TV traditional route. But the thing is that all because you say you want to be on TV, they don't just put you on camera. You have to refine your writing skills. And so they start off with a very extensive weeding out process, and you have to be skilled. You can't just be like, oh, I just want to be on television. Oh, look at my hair. It's not like that. And so it's different now. People don't give credit to a lot of real journalism these days because they don't know what people have been through to get to that writing level, but also because a lot of journalists have kind of created this distrust with the public because of antiquated, processes and just, not keeping up with the times. And so, as a young journalist, I try to do that. And I try to connect with people and always give people my most authentic self. And so I knew right away, journalism, TV, whatever paper you want me to write, give me 100 pages, I'm going to do it. There's nothing too scary for me, too difficult for me. And it is a tough career because it's not as simple as just following a rubric. These professors can give you a C or a D just because they don't like your story idea, which is very subjective, but it's preparing you for the reality of journalism and television. People can just not like you because of how your hair looks. And so you see my hair up there curly. My first TV career starting off in Kansas City, 41 Action News, I wore my hair curly. And I got lots of hate mail. In Vegas, I did as well. In Dallas.
Because your hair was curly?
Because this is my natural hair. People would probably rather see it like this, and I have no problem wearing it like this, but it's not healthy for me, my natural hair, to be always straightened. But wearing it like this, my first television job, I got a lot of hate mail, but I was really great at my job.
What was it about? You curly head hoe?
Yeah,
what
it was. I remember one distinctly. It happened when I was in Las Vegas working on the news, and it was that I don't believe hair like that could be properly cleaned. Every time I see her hair, I have to fast forward the channel. I've heard things like, for example, I remember a Facebook message while I was anchoring a newscast in Dallas, and it read, I don't know what race, creed, religion that hair is or whatever, but it's got to go. And it's really interesting. I'm from Kansas City. We're from Kansas City, so we grew up roasting each other. We come up with a tough skin, right? But this is a different kind of roast. This is hatred. This is hatred. It's racism. Everybody wants to consider racism a dirty word. We're not supposed to use that. Everybody's tired of it, but it's real. And I call a spade, and it was what it was, but it doesn't scare me. It doesn't defeat me. And I'm like, I don't care if you don't like my hair. I'm great at my job. So if you want to get to work on time, because at the time I was doing traffic, I'm like, you better pay attention to these reports because there's not a better report in the city than this one coming from this curly-headed girl.
In that order.
Yeah, don't get me started because I'm from KC. We talk quick. I'll just come with it. But I don't let it stop me. You wouldn't let something like that stop you. But the thing is this, I wanted to keep going with it, and I wear my hair however I want to because my hair doesn't define me. Curls, straight, weave, whatever. But the fact that you can be yourself, and there's so many young people who've reached out to me and that were just so thankful that I kind of withstood all of that so that they feel comfortable. And I love it because this is actionable here, is that when they can say, oh, Demetria Obilor, Dallas anchor, Vegas anchor, Kansas City reporter wears her hair like this, and they go to their news directors and say, well, why can't I do it? Demetria's doing it. And so I feel like I've done my part in that way of, continuing the path that so many other people created before me that even allowed someone like me who looks like me to be on television. And so I feel like your job is to improve the path, make it easier so that now my daughter doesn't have to have anybody saying, what kind of hair is that? You wouldn't even fix your lips to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't be so bold to even say something like that.
I'm so happy that we got to that subject because I don't think a lot of people really understand the struggle for women of color.
No.
People that don't have naturally straight hair.
And it's crazy because I know I'm wearing my hair straight today, but I'm sorry, y'all. It just is what it is. I know people are going to be like, well, why are you wearing your hair straight? But I'm like,
it doesn't matter. The thing is, this is the thing. It's a lot deeper than a lot of people know, especially with people of African American descent. we have always been told that our hair was not professional, that it needed to be tamed. And when they say tamed, that means westernized.
Yeah, straight.
You know what I mean? That means straightened,
Permed.
which is not good for our hair.
No.
So, back in the day, like our grandparents, they didn't have a voice. They didn't have a choice.
No.
If you want to work and you want to be accepted, don't threaten people with your afro or your curly hair. This was a real thing. This is a real thing. And that mindset has been passed down to generations. So now I love to see a lot of women wearing their natural hair, whatever that may be, professionally, not professionally, showing it off, doing whatever. You can't, I get really mad at these schools. The schools like to punish people for the way their hair grows out their head. Please tell me how that makes sense.
Well, they're not focused on education. It's very laughable. I've covered a story just coming out of Texas, and a young boy who is continually discriminated against because he has these beautiful locks. And apparently the school dress code says that they can't fall beneath his ears. So what he did was get them braided up beautifully. He looks amazing, but the school, in their ignorance, kept him from school, banned him from the school. And so he's been in this legal battle with his family. And meanwhile, he's out of school. He's not getting the education that he needs. And this is a public school, so it's not about, private school. But even if it was a private school, it's disrespectful. And throughout my career, I follow these stories because they hit home for me. My brother had locks down to his back, but he couldn't get a job at the time because they weren't hiring people with locks. And they don't disclose why. And it's a lot to take on as a single person saying, hey, I'm going to, go to the ends of this. And so that's why it was so important for me to embrace my hair. But despite me pressing on, the people that I've worked for still have discriminated against it or tried to control the way that it looked. I think this is what's interesting is that you'll get this reverse version of it, is that now they want you to always wear your hair like that. And it's like, well, I'd like to wear a protective style now because this, wearing my hair down, letting it touch my, clothes, it can fray your hair. My hair is very sensitive, and they don't understand that. They're like, no, we want you to look like this all the time. They didn't want me to straighten my hair. I'm like, but I should be able to do whatever I want with my hair.
Yeah.
No, we want you to look as ethnic as possible.
Because that's in now.
Because that's in now. We need that. We're meeting the diversity requirements. So Black women are constantly commodified. And I know all women of color have all different kinds of textures of hair, but specifically, it's very painful for Black women because of what we've gone through and the discrimination that continues to go on despite legislation like the Crown Act that's been put in place to protect Black women. But it's still going on. And I know it because girls still come up to me and they're like, wow, Demetria, do you think I could wear my hair like that? I'm going to go to this interview to become a television personality. Do you think that I should straighten it so I don't scare away the manager? Do you know how hurtful that is to hear? Like the fact that your hair, the way it grows out of your head, like you said, honesty, is that's not good enough. And so I refuse. I will never let that happen. I refuse to let us be commodified on how we look just to fulfill a diversity requirement. I'm totally embracing who I am. And I hope that the path that I'm creating, others can follow down because it's been there before me. I'm just building out the cobblestone. There are Black journalists, female journalists who have told me that their news directors told them that they didn't want them out in the sun reporting. Do you know why? Because they didn't want them to get darker. They didn't want them to get blacker in the sun. This is a real story.
That's awful.
This is a real story. So these are the people, my predecessors, the people who came before me, who went through the ringer. So now I go through the ringer so future generations don't have to do that. So we're all building upon the path, and we all have to stick together and we all have to be together in this to make things. It's our responsibility, and I believe in that. And so it's more than just me wearing my hair, because I was like, first of all, I ain't straightening my hair for TV because I'm like, my hair, I was trying to grow out my hair. My hair didn't look like this on my first TV job. My hair was like a little Afro puff in college. My professors told me, they said, if you ever want to be an anchor, you're going to have to wear a wig or you're going to have to get that straightened out. I walked into 41 Action News with my hair looking like that.
That was your first job?
That was my first job. It was a little shorter than this, but I walked in with my natural curly hair.
Tell me about that, your first interview.
Oh my gosh, I'm good at, first of all, I'm good at what I do. So I'm confident going into it, right? And I'm a student. I'm a forever student. I love to learn. And so I built great rapport with my professors. And so they vouched for me. How I got the job was I was auditioning for this hosting gig that they had for this channel called 38 The Spot. I didn't get it, but I sent them a thank you letter.
What were you
It was basically, 38 The Spot is kind of like the other side of the channel for 41 Action News. And so they would put on like Family Guy. And so the host would be like, okay, coming up next, we've got a cool lineup for you. Family Guy, The Simpsons coming up next. And they'd say fun trivia. Because I wanted to get into hosting, but I didn't get the job. And so I just kept a good business relationship with one of the production managers there. And I was like, hey, do you have a production job, a behind the scenes job? I started off behind the scenes while I was working in college. Do you know, as a camera person? Floor director. That was me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All of that. Get the anchor here, running errands, getting people coffee, all of that stuff. Meanwhile, I was finishing my degree at KU. And then when I had my final portfolio done, I was like, hey, like, I'm ready to be on air. And so I submitted it, applied for their morning traffic job that they had. And so my professors vouched for me because, I was a good student. And so, and then from there, I got the job. And I was so fortunate because it's not often that you see somebody jumping into a mid-sized market that Kansas City is. Usually you hear somebody working in some weird city you ain't never heard of, no matter how much geography classes you done took, like that kind of a thing. And so it was amazing experience.
When you say mid-size, you mean like
on the Nielsen ratings. And so the Nielsen ratings of television markets. So the top 2 are usually like New York, LA. Then you've got like Chicago, I think
Chicago's mid-size too?
No, that's top. These are the top 5. This is top 5. Yeah, so I'm showing you how big the cities are and the market sizes. And then so you get down to like the 30s and then now you're where Kansas City is.
Who else is mid-size?
I would say like Vegas, you've got places like probably Tampa. Houston's 13, Georgia's up there, Atlanta's up there pretty high. So just like kind of mid-sized markets, it's just how many people that they can actively see are watching the news in the area. And so they
viewers, that's how views.
So many people. California has so many people, right? And so they're watching this, and so you have the Nielsen rating system, and so then you've got Kansas City, and so usually, but it goes down to like 200, and then unranked type stuff. I think maybe 250. I can't remember because after a while, they've kind of become defunct as people have kind of turned to social media, streaming, digital sources to get their news and their content, right? Yeah. So it's not traditional television anymore. But yeah, it was really rare for somebody to just jump into that. And so I was really fortunate, but I worked really hard in school as well. This is not because my mommy and daddy, wrote a letter or paid something. Like, it's not like that. Like this is off of effort and this is off of work, hard work and dedication. And so I got that. And they knew who I was because I was working behind the scenes. And when I was working behind the scenes, I'd be like, can I write a web story? I'm going out with the photographers. I'm building a rapport with everybody at the station, absorbing all of the knowledge that I can. That's what kind of, kid I was.
Aggressive behind.
Hell yeah. What are you talking about? I'm not playing that game, but as a director, you have to be like that too. You have to be the hungriest, fish in the sea. Like you gotta go and get it. And so that's what I did. And I showcased my skill set. And so they took a risk on me and I got my first job on television.
Doing traffic.
Yes,
How did
and
you
I love
like
traffic.
that?
I love traffic because you can be the comedic relief at times. And so you get to start to insert a bits of your personality. You still have to be really great at your job. Okay. You still got to get people to work on time, all of that great stuff. But the thing is that now I get to show you a little bit of Demetria. Like I can add a joke at the beginning as we're throwing it to Gary Lezak, a weather legend out here in Kansas City. I get to, send something fun over to him, and we can have a little banter back and forth. Or as I'm tossing it back to the anchors, we get to do that. And so you build it, and you just keep going. I made no money. $20,000 a year. Yeah, you know what I mean? But
you were building.
You were building. You start off like that.
See, and that's the thing. A lot of people aren't willing to sacrifice to get to their end goal.
Oh, that's what sacrifice. You throw a lot into that pit, babe. But that's just the way that it goes. I had no bargaining power, but I know I needed the television experience to keep going. Coming, straight out of college, they always told me you're going to have to work in an obscure market like Boise, Idaho. But I don't really listen to people, just like I didn't listen to my loving professors who told me to try to help me get a job. Like my hairstyle wouldn't be good enough. But I said, you can't put me in a box. Like I just go over my head. It doesn't even hurt me. I think a lot of people get caught up in the hurt of it. Like, wow, this is like, you can't touch me. Like I'm from Kansas City. Like, they used to roast me for my sideburns. Now I love Ashanti, but she's known for her sideburns, but they used to call me Ashanti because I had them sideburns. That's my dead sis Ashanti. Congratulations, bro. I'm just saying. Let me take
a second. They used to call you Ashanti.
They used to call me the sideburns because I had the sideburns. But my thing is she's
Ashanti's beautiful.
Ashanti's beautiful.
Bad though.
But they were.
I would be like, thank you.
Not then. The sideburns was crazy. Like I got a lot of hair, so they were coming at me crazy for that. But my thing is
they used to call me Annabelle because I was so skinny. Have you heard the Annabelle? Should I sing the Annabelle song for you?
Please. They call me Chia Pet too.
It goes, Annabelle, where are you going? Upstairs to take a bath. Your leg looks like two toothpicks.
What?
And your neck looks like a giraffe.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, oh my soul. There goes Annabelle down the hole. Because I was so skinny. And then this thing bloomed.
Yeah. It's different back there. I'm like, she don't need to stand up now because I'm like, it's something else. I told him, I was like, she can't go nowhere. Her man got to keep her locked up because she don't even need him going out the house looking like this because I'm like, it's a lot.
Girl, it's a lot. I mean, and then listen, I was like.
Cheers to all that.
I was like,
it's a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you give me some of that, I give you some of that. Okay, woo! Couldn't nobody say that to us, girl.
But the thing is that's bullying for sure. But I think that it makes you tougher.
It does.
It makes you tougher for the real world. And some people, have completely different experiences. So I don't want to water down what bullying is, but I believe that for me, I can speak for myself, and you've said here that it made us stronger. So when you come out into the real world, when people try to pick apart your appearance and who you are, you stand a little bit taller because you've already been through the ringer. I have 3 brothers. I grew up on the block. Like, all that we did was roast each other. We just played dozens all day.
Yeah.
All the yo mama jokes, that's all we did.
Yeah.
All we did, whoever laughed the loudest, if they laughed the loudest at your joke, you were winning. You were like the king of the block, the queen of the block. Like, so I grew up on that. So when somebody says something about me, it doesn't really faze me.
In media, period, it is very political. And I try to tell a lot of people that, and I'm still climbing, like I haven't got, we're both still climbing. We're both trying to figure out which exact lane we want to fit into, so on and so forth. But you could be as great as you want to be at something. I could be the most creative mind in the world. She can be the most well-spoken, beautiful journalist you've ever seen. But politics is not a joke.
No.
And you can't just not play them. And that was a part of the game that because I call people cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Like, dogs are people that are just, you see it all. There's no hiding. You're not mischievous. Like, you can read their face. Cats aren't bad. They're just calculating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They sit back and they think, and they're always playing chess. They're watching. They might not be outspoken like I am. I may be the one in the corner kind of watching. I am a dog. Like, you can kind of see whatever I'm thinking on my shoulder. But as a director, you can't quite do that. And so sometimes you have to reserve and observe bars.
Yeah. You got the 15 coming.
Right, before you really engage. And so that part was hard for me because sometimes it does feel like it kind of questions integrity. Not completely, but it feels like you're withholding information to move this way or move that way. And that part of the politics I hate. I really do, because I just want to be like, hey, but it's dangerous to just be like that. Because everybody doesn't have the same intent. Like, it is, that part wears me down.
You could be the sweetest person and have the best intentions, but the thing is that you're going to have eyes on you. And I'm not just talking about that thing. I'm just saying, just because of your personality, how hard you've worked, and the spaces that you've worked yourself into. Some people are going to look at you and question you. And they're going to be like this, and they're going to treat you accordingly. There are people who may want to just literally be you, but because they can't, they're going to tear you down, and they're going to sabotage you any way possible. Maybe just because you have a cheery disposition and they once were like that, wish they could get that back, and they can't. You don't know other people's motives, but I feel like, yes, you do have to play the game of chess. I'm from Kansas City. I'm a straight shooter, and my dad is Nigerian. Ooh. I'm a dog too.
What Drake say for the dogs? Like, that's me.
So what did you do next?
Oh my gosh. Then I went to Las Vegas, which is kind of my second hometown, because my family left Kansas City when I was in high school, moved to Las Vegas. Falling upon tough times, we moved to Vegas. And so now we've got things together. But I started working on the news out there, but I didn't have that job right away. I went out there with nothing else lined up. So I actually started working at a hotel for a few months. And
what did you do at a hotel?
Yeah, I was working front desk. front desk. And you know why I chose it? I was working 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. because I still wanted to pursue television. And so I needed regular business hours so I could go past my reel on a CD-ROM. Y'all remember those CDs? And then I got the little printed label that had my name, Demetria Obilor, reel. And I went down during regular business to these different television stations and hand-delivered my reel. And one beautiful...
You was slanging real.
I wasn't playing. Girl, what do you mean? I got my mixtape. Can you want to listen? Like, that's me. I didn't play that. Yeah, nothing's been handed or easy. And so I went down there, and it was this one secretary.
This was in Vegas?
This was in Las Vegas, because I didn't have anything lined up. Do you know how serious it is to start off in Kansas City? Then I moved to Las Vegas. I didn't have anything lined up. I moved to Las Vegas because I was sick. I had hyperthyroidism at the time, but I was working a part-time job. I didn't have health insurance, so I had to go back home to be on my mom and dad's health insurance.
What is hypothyroidism?
Hyperthyroidism and hypo.
I'm not doing that again.
Yeah.
What was that? You ain't doing that to me.
I know.
Again.
Hyperthyroidism, meaning that your body is producing way too many thyroid hormones, and then hypo means not enough. And so hyper can come about from it could be stress. They don't really know what causes it. It's Graves' disease that is an autoimmune deficiency that then typically causes hyperthyroidism, something that Wendy Williams has. Sometimes you can see the Graves ophthalmology, people's eyeballs kind of get swollen, and, not swollen, but they get, it's a very serious thing, but it can cause your a regular old heart attack. It can cause, I mean, all sorts of problems. And so I was, you know, I don't
Dealing with that.
I was dealing
You
with that.
slanging your mixtape.
Oh yeah, so but I was healthy. You know, I got on my parents' health insurance. Thank you, Obama, for making sure that was a thing.
Shout out. Oh,
I needed that.
Shout
I
out
needed
to O.
Seriously, I'm like, that really helped me. I know everybody's like, how did the president help you? I'm like, that helped me.
It helped
and
me
that was
too.
really huge for me. And so it was hard taking the job at the hotel because I'm like, you know, you've got a taste of television working in your career, and it's like
you got bit by the bug already.
you know what I mean? And so now it's like, okay, so you know, there's no shame in any job, though. Any type of work. My dad said, if you want money, if you want a job, you're going to go to this job fair. So I went to the job fair because there weren't any positions open at these news stations, and those jobs take time. You got to interview for them. You got to apply. It takes time.
I'm sure they're very political as well.
It can be like that as well, but they saw my reel of what I had in Kansas City because, like I said, I knocked on that door, passed my reel, and I asked this beautiful, beautiful secretary. Her name was Imelda. She's no longer with us, but I asked her. I said, "Is a news director in the building?" Because it's very uncommon to be able to meet. That's like me with the director. You can't get a meeting with the director. Like that's crazy. That's like the main. You know what I mean? That's the boss. And she was like, you know what? She liked how I was dressed. I had my nice Express suit on. Express is about to be extinct here pretty soon, but I had my nice Express suit on. And she was like, let me go get them for you. And he saw me.
Shout out.
I said, I have my reel. I said, I've applied for this job. And he took me back into his office and we were talking. And he said, well, if you're serious, you know, apply. I was like, I already applied. I'm like, I'm already there. And so
on page 262. So you get the job in Vegas. What was that about?
Oh my gosh, that really solidified my TV career for me, right? Because you get your first one and you want to make sure it's not just a fluke, right? And then you get that second one and it's another mid-sized market, Las Vegas, right? And it was an amazing thing because it really is just about hard work and never taking no for an answer and just keeping on going. And I think a lot of people who don't make it in any type of entertainment business, I mean, you know, sometimes you just aren't, you know, it just doesn't work out. And I understand that, but I feel like some people get deterred easily. And with this, you can never feel that way. You have to keep going. You have to have a very thick skin. And so when I got it, it was very rewarding. And I took it upon myself to be the best at that job. And so
Wait, was this traffic too?
This was traffic too. However, here's the thing. So it's like, okay, let me in with traffic, but I'm going to show you how good I am at this job. And so what happens, then it opens doors to anchoring. And so now I'm anchoring. Now I'm out there hosting with their major shows that they have, New Year's on the Strip. And so now I have my own segment. It's a trending news segment. So social media, I'm their go-to millennial and stuff. And so now you're seeing more of my personality. You're seeing me pop up all throughout the station. And now you're getting promoted more. And so you keep building upon that, right? And then I get the call from Dallas. And that's a top 5 market.
Top 5?
Yeah, top 5. Top 2, not 2. Yeah. But yeah, and that was huge. And that's all on my hard work. I know a lot of people have agents and stuff through this business, and agents do amazing things. But at this time, like, this was me, right? And it was hard work.
Hold on. I am just now in conversations with agents and managers.
Wow.
And people go, how did you get the work? I have a picture of a leopard that I look at every day and I say either this leopard's gonna eat me or I'm gonna eat him.
That's what it says.
Every single day. And you know,
but it's like that, it's do or die. That's really what that is. It's do or die.
Yeah.
So either you're going to keep doing it or like what you want to give up, but this is my dream, so I might as well die. So like,
yeah, like we're going for it. You know, I don't need anybody. Well, I'm at a point now where I do need management, but it's like up until that point, like I'm meeting people, I'm working. What do I need to do? I did crafty.
Oh, wow.
I did transportation. I just wanted to be close to set because I want to learn. I want to soak it up. And there's no job better than another. I'll keep my head down and work. You bringing in $1, that's honorable.
Yes.
For
There's no shame in any job.
There's no shame in
There's no shame in any job.
And I'm grateful for that because I was able to learn. And now as a director, I can sympathize with everybody on my set because I've done most of this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
I've done that job. And so it's interesting now because it's like, I know back then things were a little bit different. Like everybody's got to be PC now. But back then, no, it was like, Demetria, could you give me this coffee? And some people might go report to manager, like, that's not my job. How dare she ask me to get her coffee? But I'm like, but that's kind of how it wasn't. And I'm looking at me like, let me pick my battle here. Do I want to go to the news director and say, oh, this fancy anchor wants some coffee? Or am I just going to go get it, shut it up, and just like keep it pushing? Because I know the bigger game at hand. I know my eyes are on the prize here. I'm not going to sit here and do all of this little tussle for what? And I feel like that's coming from Kansas City. Like, I can handle that. Like, okay, cool. It doesn't diminish me because I'm going to do this real quick. I'm just not going to pick this battle. And for what? It's a waste of my time. And so people have to realize that. We didn't have Twitter like that back then where people really airing all their laundry on. And I wouldn't even recommend it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I can put up with a lot. But the thing is that it was a different time back then.
And this is the thing. You hit the nail on the head. that's politics, right? There's an end goal. And so you got to keep your eyes on that end goal. So something might happen, right? I got 6 more steps to my end goal. But at step 3, this girl pissed me off to the point where I want to go straight. I want to reach back into my heritage to 39th of Magal and let you feel that. I mean, that man.
Going over
that. But if I do that, then that detours me back to step 1.
And you've worked
now, and I've worked so hard to get to step 3. And sometimes taking 3 steps backwards to step 4, right? And so I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, hey, cool, I understand you're upset. How about this, that, the other? Solution based.
Right.
We have the solution. You call me everything but a child of God, and I should get in that, you know what I'm, but because I worked so hard to get to 3, and I know how much harder I got to work to get to 6.
Harder than a lot of people.
Let me pull my pride, anger, ego, emotion out of it, and let's play chess.
Even if you were rightful to do so. See, the thing is like
right.
some people feel like because you didn't say anything back, because growing up in Kansas City, like if you didn't say anything back and you let somebody get one up on you, you're a punk.
Yeah.
And block's not forgiving.
Soft.
Oh, for sure. And they coming for you. Oh, it's not just gonna be one. It's a whole, like I used to walk outside, I'm like, it's kind of like the jungle out here. That's how I felt. It wasn't the 30s. It was the 70s jungle, but it was kind of like that, right? So it was different. So the thing is now in the workplace, you have to remember like things are not solved that way. And you have to play the long game, because even if you were righteous in checking this woman, you have to think, is this the kind of lady who's gonna take it beyond and try to sabotage your career? Because people have tried to do that with me. You retort something and you say, hey, that's not correct, or don't talk to me like that. Even in this polite tone, please don't talk to me like that. They'll run to HR just to cover themselves. And who are they going to believe? The crying, lighter complexion white woman? I'm just going to say it. My mother's white. I have no problem with why I love white people. But my thing is that this often becomes an issue. Then you see me, and you know what I mean? And like, oh, she's the mean, it becomes that. And so even though you were righteous in defending yourself, you have to think, is it worth my time to do this? And what is it going to cost me? And as a woman of color, you're going to constantly have to think that. Men have to deal with that too, but women, it's another different level, because they're going to come at you with the race, they're going to come at you with the age, and then the sexism of it all.
And the thing is, I look a little younger than I am.
Exactly.
And we're not getting into that.
We're not getting into that.
But it's hard for women of color. And this isn't me whining. This is just me stating facts. If you are a woman of color that wants to be in media, that wants to be in media, period.
It ain't just media though. Let's get director sitting right here. That's another level to get to that. That's like the 1% of people who even get to that kind of level. So for you to be there, I'm just saying, it's not the same thing as just being I'm in the media. No. That's a field dominated by a group of people that all look the same. You don't fit that.
Exactly. Older white men. And it's true. My mentor would tell me, you gotta eat. Beef. You're gonna have to do it sometimes. You gotta choose when you're gonna eat it and when you're not. And the decision, but we're taught to be rah-rah.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody, I gotta, and you should have a voice. Yeah. But it's like, to maneuver sometimes it's when you use the voice, how you use the voice, who you give access to your voice. It is a lot. And I might have been righteous, right? But then that girl that pissed me off, I might have been righteous and correcting her, nipping that in the bud right then and there. I have to be aware of everybody that's around me, who is around me, who they're reporting to, because guess what? That can easily get flipped, especially from people that don't want me there. That want their friends there. I don't think that I'm worthy. That can easily get flipped into, guess what? The angry black woman.
Easily.
She is angry. She's going off on everybody, even if they deserved it.
Oh yeah.
And so like pulling when because sometimes it's like, at the same time, this is my set.
Right.
I'm responsible for everything that goes down. The entire look of this in the box. When you look at the box, the director is responsible for the whole aesthetic of this. That's a lot of responsibility. And if I can't if I can't be authoritative, what am I doing here?
No. They want you to talk like, could you please move the camera like that?
But
please, would you mind?
But hold on. People of other genders and races, I mean, cuss you out, up, down, left, right. And that's normal. Oh, that's the director.
Oh, no, he's just creative. No. And if you complain, you're out. Yeah. So the thing is I'm not saying it's good to be yelling at everybody, but I'm saying that's a high-stress job. You need to dictate what's happening. Millions of dollars are on the line.
That's it.
And we need you to move post-haste. And the thing is that when you do it, she's mean. When somebody else does it, that's what he's doing. That's his job. He's being a man.
So you can imagine the mental
anguish. Gymnastics, that's the word.
I'll call it gymnastics that you have to do, the mental gymnastics that you have to do to play that game of chess. It is first of all, a lot of people don't think that you deserve to be there. A lot of times, even with the technical people, they, I get on and they'll question me. Well, do this, that, the other. I'm a director. I'm not, it's better if I do know the technical.
So you've earned your stripes, and it's like, but you still get questioned.
But I still get questioned. I have to know 3 times more than my counterpart.
And now you have to defend yourself where other people, don't have to do that.
Yeah, and so and the thing is, I'll say, oh yeah, I know this, I read that, this, and I go, oh yeah, what are we doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Or can we go? Like, let's go. So I'm just saying, and I can only imagine too, you being in front of the camera, woo, that's even more stake.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot because, you have to keep your cool. And I've had a lot of people, coworkers that I've worked, been with, people behind the scenes. It's like you can go into a place. For example, I remember in Vegas, I would say good morning to a woman. I was so excited to have this job. I was that happy kid in the candy store. Every person I see, I'm like, good morning, good morning, good morning. And there was this one woman, had been there for a long time. And I'd say good morning down the hall. She wouldn't say anything to me. Probably for a year, she totally ignored me. And I'm very vocal. I'm an Aries. My voice is loud. My mom's like, you don't know how to whisper.
Aries gang.
You know me, Aries gang.
When I first talked to you, I was like feeling the fire. And then you told me your birthday, I was like, yep.
That's us.
That makes sense.
Birthdays back to back. So the thing is like, so that was, I was like, okay, whatever, I take it, whatever, that's fine. I remember one day, then she needed my help. And so I'm more than happy to help. I don't hold grudges. And she got really frustrated because she didn't understand a traffic thing or something, like who was responsible for a portion of the highway. Was it the state or the, I won't bore you with all the details, but the thing is she didn't like it. She was confused. And so she took her frustrations out on me. And I told her, I said, hey, you can't talk to me like that, and it wasn't me screaming. It was in the newsroom in front of everybody. I'm like, hey, you're frustrated, but you can't talk to me like that.
Straight up.
And so what did she do? She tried to get me in trouble with my boss because I'm not somebody who goes and snitches and runs to the HR every, I don't have time for that. I'm trying to be the best at my job. And so I was having to battle that out now. So now I have to go defend myself where somebody else is in there now crying as if I spoke to them so crazily, even though it was in front of everybody. And so it's just a constant thing. I had a producer one time critique my on-air delivery of me talking about the kind of music I liked. I was like, I like a little Yeezy, Drizzy, Jeezy. And she told me I talk too clubby for television. I'm like, what do you mean clubby? I was like, yeah, let's get specific here. And she was like, informal. I was like, what, like text, like when you text, I'm like, what? Like, but she means too black for TV. Like, that's what you're saying. And I'm like, but people love that. People love the authenticity of it. And so when I look at my demographic of people who follow me, you could get an 85-year-old old Trump voter. You get people who look like me. You get people who, who like the things that I like. But my thing is it's very diverse and widespread because people know what they're getting when they talk to Demetria. I'm not one person on air, another person when I get home. Yeah. And so that authenticity of being who you are, yes, you have to navigate the waves. And yes, it's scary and it's difficult because I didn't have parents paving the way in this entertainment field for me. I went out and I brought the shovel and I'm digging, right? And I'm forming my path. Digging. It's still digging. It doesn't stop. Even though you feel like you've earned it, even though you're like, I put 10 years in, 11, 12 years in, I've been doing this. I've got the talent, I've got the skill, I've got the portfolio, and still, to try to, sun you like, nah, you're not there yet.
They gonna sun you.
Yeah.
I have some black mentors, black female director mentors, and their resumes, child, impressive, and they'll still make them come in and shadow another white director.
And you're not going to get as much
and the resume is thicker than theirs. They don't trust us.
No,
it's this lack of trust, and it's very annoying because so many people have proven themselves and proven that they are more than capable.
People and here's the thing, okay? Because when we talk about, because this is becoming like, affirmative action, right? And why it was put in place to begin with, because people have this idea that affirmative action basically just gives people who are unqualified jobs. And we're talking about people of color who aren't, but that's not really what it was for. It was making it so businesses would look into these places to find qualified people of color. And now that that's gone, the story that you're telling me, I see why it should have been there to begin with. And of course, we're talking, that was college affirmative action and that kind of, admission stuff. But the thing is that with diversity, equity, inclusion, a lot of that's being erased, a lot of departments, companies, getting rid of all of that. But it was there for a reason. And that's because people who are qualified, people of color, are being overlooked and aren't trusted. And that's real. And so this idea that companies are hiring unqualified black people almost implies that you're saying that there aren't any qualified black people for that job, or you're just not looking hard enough, or you're not looking at all. And that's really what it is. They're not looking.
Women
they don't want to look.
Are the most educated group in the country. That blows me away. Past Asians, past any other,
So why aren't we seeing more of these faces and these very difficult, like black female directors all over? You're telling me there aren't any black women who want to be directors?
Why are we still being questioned to this extent? Like, we can work our so we don't even have any fingers left.
It's very frustrating.
And they would still be like,
Not good
well,
enough.
yeah, I see that. What happened to your fingers? Oh, I worked them off trying to get to this job. Well, I don't know. She still has 4 fingers, and I think that we're going to put her fingers to use. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that energy, and that's not just the entertainment. That's all the way across the globe. We're not trusted. We're feared. A lot of times, like, back to piggybacking back, or circling back around to our hair makes people uncomfortable. It's a fear.
And it's because you're not familiar with this group of people. And the thing is this is not about, oh, white people are so bad. It's really not about that. I mean, there are a lot of amazing white people who have taken, great risk in supporting their black counterparts and have done amazing things. I think about Jessica Chastain. I love this, one of my favorite actresses, and how she supported Octavia Spencer in one of her roles and was like, okay, so, y'all want to pay me? Y'all got to pay my good sis too.
Yeah.
And it takes that. And it's like, but why should she even have to do that? Like, why wouldn't you recognize this talent in this amazing actress and pay her what she's worth?
Yeah.
And so Monique, you heard her talk about it, and like, she wasn't getting paid what she felt like she was worth. And I don't know why. Well, we know why. I just wish that nowadays it was gone, but because of the history of this country, we can't ignore it. And it's not about shaming white people. It's just about showing the inequity. It's about showing the state of things as they are. And it's like, if you can't call a spade, if you can't be honest about it, then what are we here for?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not all, you can't generalize, period.
No.
It's not all, one black person did this, that's that black person. One white person did this.
But that's what it's become on social media.
It has.
That's what you see. And it's like, so if you bring up, if you say white, if you say black, if you say race,
it's every white person.
I don't want to hear that. And it's not true.
No. See, but that is one of the biggest issues of racism. This is in my head. One of the biggest issues with racism is that people don't want to face themselves. And the thing is, for you to admit that sometimes that racism exists or someone is racist means you have to admit that there are things inside yourself that need to be rerouted. And a lot of people don't want to face, they don't want to do that work. They don't want to do that work. They don't want to, nobody wants to hear that their ancestors like owned slaves and did these awful things. Like nobody wants that to keep, they don't want that to.
And I don't think that you're defined by it either, but I think everybody has to do the work. Let me give you this. So when we moved from Kansas City, when I was a freshman in high school, to Las Vegas, it was a huge culture shock. Now, my family's very diverse. My mom's white, Polish, German background. My dad is Nigerian. We grew up in the inner city in Kansas City. So we moved to Vegas, and the school is mostly white, Asian. I mean, Filipinos everywhere. I love my good Filipino people. You know what I'm saying? I be eating the lumpia, all of that. But it was different for me. And it was like, I went to a school, a lot of my friends, they didn't listen to hip hop. Hip hop was like my life, but I could listen to a Led Zeppelin. I could listen to the Carpenters. I like Fall Out Boy, all of that stuff. But my thing is that I'm over here working to adapt to you and learning how to do that. And these people wouldn't adapt to me. I remember one of my first boyfriend of all time. I remember I showed one of my friends in Las Vegas, my new friends, and she was like, "You like guys like that?" Like he was the biggest thug of all time. I'm like, he just had a motorcycle jacket with Michael Jordan, the Jumpman on the back of it. And they thought he was so hood and so thug. And I'm just like, what? You know what I mean? It's like, wow, that's your perception of this. Your perception of me and my family, and you've already judged him just seeing a picture. All this, he probably soft as hell, and he's just going like this. And a teddy bear. He ain't that dude on the block like that. So my thing is, but you've already jumped to conclusions. But here I am being open-minded to your cultures, your foods, but you look at mine and you just dismiss mine so easily. And so that's why we need programs in place so that you can familiarize yourself with other people. But why am I so open-minded to you and you're already so closed off to me?
Because you can't help it, right? Because the experiences don't overlap, right?
Yeah.
For us, we live in Western culture. We live in the United States of America, where this is ran by Caucasians, right? So our circle can't help but to intertwine in their circle because they run this place. They do. Where our experience doesn't impact their experience. We can live our black lives over here and it's completely, they don't have, you know what I mean? They don't have to experience that. So when I say, hey, when my young nephews go out at night, there's a fear deep down of them getting pulled over, and they have no idea what that means because it's not their experience. But we go into work a lot of times where it's ran by white folks, is our people of other cultures, whatever. So we can't help but adapt and really code switch to their culture where they don't have to do that with ours. So it is more for them. That is an extra couple of steps. You got to come out of your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Well, we don't like, we are in it. Like this is our life. We're in a white country, right? They don't have to, so that's work for them.
That's a very good point.
They got to get out of their comfort zone and come over here and see what we're talking about. And then if you do that, though, you might be like, hey,
maybe
these people are actually cool, and they're just like me. The same red blood runs through both of our veins. They want to be loved. They want to be fed. They want to be appreciated, just like us. Same difference.
No, 100%.
How we get on that, girl?
I
love rabbit holes, girl.
we're keeping it honest.
We are keeping it honest,
babe.
Be
Yeah.
honest. All right, so hold on. Let's take it now. Dallas.
Dallas, yeah.
So you're there.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing. You got a you
girl,
got a segment.
Oh,
You
I
did
got my own
traffic.
show. I got my own show at that point. That was one of
What was the name of
the
that
draws.
show?
It was called I'm Still Up with Demetria, but you know.
And what did you talk about on the show?
Yeah, so it was basically like a panel style show like The View. So we talked about everything post the morning show. What was it? Breaking news stories, contextualizing them, giving our opinions about pop culture, sports, anything that was relevant, anything that was trending. And so it was a nice time for the viewers to really get to know the people in front of the camera, like the anchors. I mean, I was a midday anchor. I did traffic. I had my own social media segment, but also then I was the host of that show. And so, I mean, it was really great. And I think, Dallas, first of all, showed me so much love when I was out there. I had this huge moment go globally viral. A woman tried to body shame me, said that I looked I looked like a size 16, 18 or something, trying to fit into a size 6'8" or something like that. And then Twitter erupted. Chance the Rapper came out to support me, Gabrielle Union, Meghan McCain, Tyra. It was featured on so many different outlets. It was crazy. And for me, those kinds of comments don't do anything for me. I just say, change the channel. If you don't like what you're seeing, you always have that ability. I don't know why people feel so comfortable going online to insult people.
Oh, the internet gangster.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so she was an older woman who said this. And so for me, I'm like, I'm not trying to get this lady, to have a heart attack or something like that. But I hope she took it as a teaching moment. But the thing is that Dallas responded with so much love to me and was very supportive of me. And so I did the same as I always do in communities that I work for, and support the communities and show up and give a voice to people who don't have one. And so that was a really, really, really big time moment for me. And then in my career, just using my voice. A lot of big news happens in Texas, a lot of horrible things at the time. And so I always use my platform to speak on injustices and give my opinion. And I think people respected it.
I want to talk about that though, because Demetria has a beautiful body. I hope I'm not embarrassing you, but she's curvy.
I've been working on it. Yeah,
she's a curvy, beautiful woman. And this is the thing. I'm a curvy woman, right?
Oh, yes.
And it is strange because I can wear the same thing that my skinny homegirl wears, and then it's offensive to people, right? So like I've struggled with my body in professional settings.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of times when I direct, I'll wear these, what do you call them? The cardigans all the way down to my legs, just so that this thing ain't thanging all over the set. 'Cause it's a thing. It is
back there.
But it is something that I've dealt with, and as I grow older, I am more confident with. Like I have hips, I have butt, and I should be able to wear clothes that I am comfortable in.
Yes.
Period. And what I love about you is that, baby, you show it off.
Yeah.
You are beautiful. You work hard on your body. I be seeing your Instagram. You be in that gym, and she shows her beautiful body off.
Well, it makes me feel comfortable. That's what I'm most confident in. And the thing is that there's that double standard, right, that we're all going to experience. Curvier women of all colors, white, black, whatever, already experience. But there's another layer when it comes to black women, all right, because our bodies have been commodified for hundreds of years by this country. And so the thing is that there are other people who will look differently than you, and maybe their body wouldn't be sexualized, but because you're black and you're exotic and this. And so now it's not okay when you do it, but it's okay when somebody else does it. I got my first taste of that when I was working in Kansas City. I remember we had a weather girl. She would wear things, and when I'd wear it, I'd get in trouble. It's like, Demetria, that's too short. I'm like, how is that? I'm like, even if it's like 2 inches above my knee, like they could wear something that's literally at their, hips, and it was perfectly acceptable. But when I did it, because I have a little curve to my hip, then now it's an issue. And so that really upset me, because I don't believe in double standards. That's not just, that's totally unfair. And that's something that I like to challenge. I remember there were times when I was working in Dallas where I had this most innocent bikini picture. I have some other bikini pictures, because how I like my bikinis now. But the thing is,
you look good in them.
But back then I had one, I had pants on, smaller than, a little, holding a coconut, 2 braids in my hair. And I was, my whole,
real sister like.
My whole, very innocent, very sweet. The picture, it was beautiful. But the thing is my whole career got called into question that day when there were other anchors who had pictures in bikinis doing yoga, videos doing yoga with their crotch out, exposed to the camera. And it was like, but
yours is a problem.
But mine is a problem, and I'm literally wearing pants. There are people doing handstands on the beach. And so I took it upon myself to really challenge the status quo. I'm like, okay, so she can do it, then I'm definitely going to do it. And you can't say anything, because right now that's discrimination. So because I have I remember one time my news director picked out a pair of pants, and I put them on TV. She approved these pants. And I put them on television. She said, Demetria, what are these pants? I can't believe you're wearing these pants. I said, these are the pants that you selected for me. Now you see them on television, which adds 15 pounds. And now I look too thick for TV in these red pants that you picked out. Do you know how insulting that is to be like stripped down like that and being told what to wear? Picked apart constantly because my hips are bigger, and then somehow that's not acceptable. Like I'm a doll or something. It's you know what I mean? It takes a strong, tough skin to keep working through that. I'm talking about every single day.
Yeah.
Every single day. Something like that.
But you still,
where people were wearing mini skirts. Yeah. But if I wear the pants you picked out, and then now it's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hits different.
It's insulting to the God that made me. This is how I'm made. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know I have to go in there with the thong on.
Yeah.
But
you're dressed professionally. You just got body. I just have this. And then, I'm not discriminating against any body type. Every body is beautiful. But the thing is like, so then let's also turn focus to the body type that's being attacked right now. And it's the curvaceous figure.
It is.
And it's not
You
fair.
saw the one with the teacher?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
She was bad. I was like, whoa, and they were going in. And
I defended her. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
We talked about it on a talk show that I was working on in Atlanta, and it was a huge thing. And the thing is she was fully covered, so there's really nothing that you can say. Now, if she's doing something that's untoward with children, which she was not, then I take issue with it. But the thing is like, she can't, I mean, she's buttoned up. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
I just want to say
we had teachers with big butts that looked like shells when I was growing up. They were like thick. We didn't say nothing.
No.
I don't know, like where you went to school, but my teachers were thick.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you come to work with no clothes on. That's not the point. The point is this. There's nothing wrong with my hips. There's nothing wrong with my bum, my breast. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to sit here and reduce myself, diminish myself to make you comfortable. Because what? Because what's that implying is that men can't control themselves when that's not true.
That's their problem.
That's, and if they can't, they should, that's really a problem.
That's their problem, below. We should be able to dress however we want. If you can't control yourself, you need to go.
Then you need to get help.
You need to go get checked in somewhere. Yeah. But I really do. I just love the confidence that radiates. You don't know how much it speaks to me. So I'm just saying that you give off a beautiful, confident radiance, and you keep that, because I know that there's a lot of women, there's a lot of girls that look like you that are watching and that you are motivating.
Well,
so you keep that.
Thank you.
You walk on that. I have two questions for you. What is your why? And what do you want to do with this journalism? If you're able to tell me like your ultimate goal, your ultimate why, give me that.
I just feel like we all have a responsibility to make the lives of future generations easier, because why not? I feel like there's so many people who paved the way for me to be here and took hits, sacrificed so much so that somebody who looks like me, who's like me, can have this job. If I was born 60, 65 years ago, if we were born 60, 65 years ago, we wouldn't have had these opportunities. But there are people who built this up so that we can have what we have now. And so I feel an obligation, just a responsibility. It's just inherent in me, innate in me, I should say, that you keep going. You keep going. I don't want to hear my daughter, my son saying, Mom, do you think I could get this job because I have locks or the way that I look? Do you feel like that's possible? I don't even want that to be a thought in their minds. And so we keep building, and that's what I'm here to do. And I can take the hits, I can take the punches, I can take the nasty comments about how I look, my hair, my body, whatever it is, because I'm stuff like that. So punching bag, whatever it might be, that's fine, because I know in 50 years things are going to be different, in 20 years, in 10 years. Now, I see more news anchors, people who I know, and they were like, Demetria, thank you, wearing your hair like that. It means a lot. People think it's nothing, but it means so much because it's a part of our identity. It's who we are.
Demetria, I just want to tell you that that's very honorable, because that is sacrifice, and you know that you are sacrificing. So to put yourself on the line to be punched and ridiculed and literally light your hair on fire, that is, first of all, brave.
Thank you.
And needed. This life isn't just about cars and money and being flashy and those sorts of things. What are you going to leave? What are you going to leave for the people after you? You get to graduate and go to wherever we go after this place. But what about those behind us? And so you being aware enough to say, that's a part of my mission. That's a part of my commission.
I want you to walk easier.
It's for you to walk. And it's completely unselfish, but it's still taking care of yourself, because this is your dream. It's
what's been given to me. I have these talents, and then I work to cultivate them. And I feel like I said, one of the saddest things is wasted potential. And so I know when I'm 95 or whenever God calls me to come back home, I'm going to say I did everything that I possibly could. And it's hard and it's heart-wrenching and it's difficult to hear no's when you believe in yourself and it's like, no, not this time. Or no, oh, not maybe, maybe next year or something like that. And I have the fire burning in me. Like I want it now. I'm impatient. I'm like, I'll go get it any means. I'm knocking on doors. I don't care. I don't stop. I'll send 1,000 emails. People know, hi, I'm gonna send you another email. You didn't respond to that one. I'm gonna send you another one.
Yeah.
In a respectful way, but I don't stop. I don't let it get me down. And so my thing is that, I owe it to myself, but I also owe it to the people who came before me who created these possibilities. I am not unique in the way that I'm over here sacrificing things. People sacrifice so much so that I could be here today. There are people who were Ruby Bridges. You know what I mean? Like think about that and what she did and what her life was like as a young child, taking that stand, right, for what's right. And what she sacrificed so that now I can walk into school freely and it can be like this, right?
I mean, but that's how it's supposed to go. It's supposed to get
It's your job.
easier and easier.
It's not just about you and the Lambo. It's more than that. Yes, I want the Lambo, but I'm just saying, like,
I want the Lambo. Yeah.
But it's more than that. And it's a responsibility. And some people feel it in them and some people don't. Somebody's like, screw everybody else. I'm not like that. I'm really a loving, caring, compassionate person. And I mean it when I say I want things to be easier for future generations. I really mean that. It really breaks my heart when you have little girls come like, do you think I could wear my hair like what? That shouldn't even be a question, but it's more than that.
Yeah.
It's more than that.
It's more, and this is the thing. You're also an example of how to gracefully take no's. Because in anything in life, you're going to hear no.
Yeah.
You're going to fail. I feel like we have an inheritance. What's ours is going to be ours. So go for it.
Yeah.
If it ain't yours, it ain't supposed to be yours. And that keeps me saying, like, what I believe that what God has for me is for me. So what's embarrassment? What is that? I've never been the type to get embarrassed, but that just wasn't for me. Moving right along.
No.
Anywho.
You just keep it pushing, but I love that because it's the worst thing that anybody could tell you is no. And I feel like my dad always instilled that into me.
People don't get good at things by trying it one time. You do it, you fail, you try it again. You do it, you fail, and try it again. The people that reach success are the people that are persistent.
Yeah.
And don't give up.
I love that you said
Hard work will outdo talent. Hard work is a skill set, is a mindset that goes to success.
Yeah.
You could be the most talented person in the world, but if you don't put the effort in, if you don't take the time, if you don't develop the business sense, you'll be a talented person singing your shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I mean?
No, I love that.
So I'm saying that persistence is a powerful tool that a lot of people don't give its shine. And that's what you are.
Oh, I appreciate
you take the no gracefully, cool. Well, then that's not my door. I'm going back. And that's what it's about. You can't let a no, a lot of these, and this is, I'm going to call them snowflakes. Y'all might get offended. I don't care. But a lot of people can't take a no.
No.
A lot of people can't take rejection. If you can't eat rejection, you're not going to succeed. It's simple as that. You're going to stay where you are because you're afraid. There's that word fear again. Fear is such a powerful thing. You're too afraid to hear no.
Yeah.
No is a part of life.
It's a part of life, and it's something that you keep building on because nobody likes rejection. Nobody likes that, right? It's not natural to us, but it's just a part of it, and it's also about your resilience. So you hear a million no's, and it's like, are you still you, or are you going to shapeshift and mold into what society wants you to become? Are you going to be the authentic version of yourself? Because on this path, people are going to try to shape you into things that you're not, that are totally 100% antithetical to your existence. Are you going to let that happen? So can you be resilient in that way? And I love movies. I'm a cinephile. And one line from, I'm sorry, I love Christopher Nolan too.
Christopher Nolan, that's my jam.
You know
right
what I mean? Like
Inception, girl.
You know what I'm saying? But let me take it to Batman because I love The Dark Knight. But the thing is the first movie in the trilogy, Batman Begins. There's this line when young Bruce Wayne, he falls down this this well, this empty well, and his dad comes down to get him, and he's like, Bruce, why do we fall? So we can learn to get back up. Right? So we learn, and it makes me cry. I was just watching it on YouTube because it really is like that. And it's like you could be so good, you could be so great, and then you could still hear no or not this time, or maybe they don't respond to your email. But do you let that define and shape you? Do you let that stop you, or do you keep going? Because all of the people that you admire and aspire to be like and want the things that they have, chances are they've heard a million no's, but they kept going until they got that yes. And so you have to plant a million seeds. It's not easy. I'm telling you, and it's very frustrating. I'm not going to act like I just smiled while doing it. Been frustrated. I've screamed. I've cried my heart out, my eyes out, like why, what the hell is going on? But do you stop there and just say, forget it? Or do you just keep going? Like, are you built to last? Like I am. So, I'm not, come on. Like, are you going to pump me? I'm from KC. Like, stop. You can't do it.
But
like, no.
we get up.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I like what you said. Something you said, I don't think if you heard yourself enough.
Probably not.
But I'm gonna rewind it. Something that you said was very profound. You said, are you gonna let the no's reshape you?
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Well, that's what you see with people, and people have tried to do that to me, and even people that I love that care about me because they want my life to be easier. I'm like, but that's not who I am. I'm not going to change the way that I dress or the way that I wear my hair. Those professors that told me I'd never get a job wearing my hair curly, they weren't being racist. They weren't trying to be rude. They just, that was what was true to them in their time, and they wanted to protect me and try to help me get a job. I didn't take them as, oh, they're racist. That's not what it was. It didn't come from that place, but it came from a place of fear, and I don't believe in it. I don't believe in that. And so other people were fearless, and now I have the things that I have. And so I'm going to continue to be fearless and embrace myself and be the truest version of myself and not let society come in and change me into what they want me to be. Because what would that be worth? Absolutely nothing. It's worth nothing. Staying yourself, your character.
Yep.
I say,
You know what's funny? When I first got into entertainment, I started off trying to do things in front of the camera, right? Mm-hmm. But I said this before, I am a klutz. I was supposed to be sexy. You would think this big old booty was and I was like tripping over stuff and leaning on stuff weird. And it was like, move your leg. Like, it just wasn't me. But when I went into my acting classes, the only roles, and I did have an old school acting coach. The only roles that they would give me in acting class is a pickpocket.
Oh my God.
A prostitute or a mammy. That's all they let me read for. And I said, well, I want to be the girlfriend. I want to be the love interest. And he looked at me and he said, there in Hollywood, that's not where you're going to book. He said, yeah, maybe later, like if you gain some traction. But he said, for now, you should go after what they'll book you for. And that really stuck with me because I was like, no.
Yeah.
Like, I won't be defined by Hollywood or anybody else in this existence that is not God. And I refused that. I said, I can be the love interest.
Yeah.
I can be the smart.
I can read for that. You won't even give me the opportunity?
No, he wouldn't even give me the roles. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no. And so now, years later, I'm actually directing the actors. You know what I mean? But you can't allow people to put you in the box because of their experiences, right? Because you don't have to bend or reshape yourself to anybody's no. You have the power and the ability to pave your own path. And I don't know, I don't know what your background is, but I believe that God spoke the world into existence. So just with the power of his tongue, we have that same power in our tongue. You speak it, you manifest it. I put things on my mirror for years, and I said them to myself every single morning. 3 years later, I had everything on that mirror and didn't even realize it to one aha moment where I'm like, everything I asked for, everything that I spoke into existence every day happened. You speak it. The power and everything. I know it's like a Marvel movie, but the power is in you. It is so, if so many people really realize that everything that you need is right here. And it's just you having the confidence in yourself. Hold on.
No, you made me cry.
It's you.
It's so true.
It's you having the confidence in yourself and believing in yourself and acting on it. When the train is already rolling, that means you got the motor going. It's rolling, it's picking up speed. I'm telling you that everything that you need attracts to the train, like a magnet. If you don't get that train rolling and you sit there trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna do that, it'll stay stagnant.
Yeah.
You gotta put your life in motion. You have to put your goals in motion and let it come to you. Because you already know what's planned for you. You got your eyes on that end goal, and ain't no stopping this train. So either you get on board, and that's everything in the universe. You get on board and you attract, or you don't. But I'm not stopping this train.
No, I love that.
That's the energy. I don't even know how I got there.
No, that's beautiful. I love that. That's unstoppable is one of my mantras. So I just feel like that, and that's true. I mean, it's just, you spoke my life right over there. I'm like, singing my life with the word. You already know, I'm just saying. That's how
I didn't know you had a little voice. You heard that, but bro, I heard it. No. Singer, media personality.
thing. I'm a Disney kid. You know, we grew up like that. But no, I love what you said, because that's really what it is. And there's so many people who are going to try to stop you along the way, and you just got to keep going. And I think perfectionism, what is it? Paralysis by perfection. I forget what it is, but a lot of people don't get started on what they love because they're so afraid that it's not going to be perfect, or they're going to fail before they even get started. And so they never get to where they need to be. And so even, it took me a while to start my podcast, because I was like, I'm used to other people setting up my sets, but I'm like, I'm doing this, in my own space. And I'm just like, because I'm like, I know I can count on me. And
you see, girl,
it takes
listen,
work.
I'm used to working on sets with so many people, and you know what? The strike was one of the best things that could happen to me, because if that strike didn't happen, I wouldn't be doing this right now. You see me, I got 4 people here with me, and these are all my friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That I was like, I want to do something different, and the strike can't. I was giving that too much power. I was giving that world too much power, and I couldn't operate when it stopped. I said, wait a minute.
No, you can't.
I can get cameras.
Right.
I can shoot a show where I uplift and highlight women of color in business that are just like me,
And then also
like mine.
your story too.
Yeah.
To hear that, I was like, people don't hear from Black female directors and just their path. I mean, when we were talking on the phone for I don't know how many hours, I was just so in awe. But I was also like, to do what you do, and I'm already knowing like what I've went through, and I can only imagine all the no's that you've heard, all of the hurdles you've had to jump.
And I am still hearing all types of no's. Like, I am nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm going to bust some heads to get there. I'm going to tell you that. Girl, yeah.
I know.
So let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
If someone were to come to you and say, Demetria, I want to be a journalist. I want to be a media personality. I want to be a bold woman that does not take no for an answer and that directs her own path. What would be your advice to them?
I mean, confidence is key, I mean, it sounds, commonplace, but it's really the truth, because on that path to developing this bold voice, I mean, you're going to experience most likely a rough path. I mean, this is a different world. People are going to criticize your writing. In journalism school, I always say it was a really tough degree because it's very subjective. You can follow the rubric and you can have the proper punctuation, vocabulary, everything. But the thing is if they don't like your story, you get a C or D. So are you prepared for that? Are you prepared that people just don't like your idea? And how do you shift around that? And how do you master the art of rejection and turn it into something that empowers you? I think a lot of people will look at my life and they'll look at my Instagram and they'll be like, oh my gosh, she's so much fun. I want to be able to do that. Like, I want to dance and drop some rap lyrics in the traffic forecast and all of this kind of stuff. And I'm like, but you know why I'm able to do that is because I'm so good at the real job of what I do that now they've given me this freedom to be able to do it. And I think a lot of people, I did the work. You didn't see that. Right? I show you the fun stuff. I show you me smiling on camera. I didn't show you me waking up at 2:00 in the morning, dealing with a bunch of BS, people trying to sabotage me, all this kind of stuff. Like, you don't see that. You see the fun, but you don't realize the work went into it. And so I got to give respect to other journalists in the field, like Stephen A., for example. He was like, yeah, you guys see me making my millions of dollars now, but where did you see me for the 40 years that I was struggling? I started off making $20,000 in this business. And so it's not like that now. And I don't think it should be like that, right? I think people should make a little bit more. But the fact is that there are going to be hits and you're going to have to take them as you go, and you're going to have to shape yourself accordingly, right? I mean, you can't always run to Twitter to air out all your laundry. I mean, it is a small business. And so when you talk about politics, I mean, you got to be prepared for that. You have to be smart about it. And I think from a young age, what really helped me, some advice that my dad gave me, he says, you can't fight every battle because you're going to be too tired for the war. So you have to pick and choose. And that really helped guide me because I'm a fire sign. I got the fire in me. Like, you know what I mean? If I know I'm right, I know I'm right. But that's not the way that it works. That's not the way that it works. You can't teach your teachers. I remember getting into it with one of my geometry teachers about exterior angles. I just left KC, Lincoln Prep. I'm like, I already knew this like by heart, crazy. Then I get to Vegas, one of my teachers, I'm sorry, it wasn't that great. And I'm over here debating the teacher, but that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, you have to learn the art of speaking to people and knowing how to get your way too, right? And make everybody happy. You don't want to leave an instance where somebody feels terrible about you. You want to leave everybody feeling better, improving them, right? Improving upon your, making them feel like, wow, Demetria is great, rather than, wow, Demetria just tried to school me in front of the whole class. That's not a good last, impression. And so I had to work on that. And I feel like in journalism, if you want to be a confident, daring, bold woman, you're going to have to earn that privilege to speak that way. You don't just get that being the traffic lady. I had to earn that. And I was very well researched and I took huge responsibility and I took huge risks, but it always was backed in my value. Hey, you look on the
That
board.
right there, this is how I know that you were raised right, because you said it's important to you, not what you say to people, how you leave them feeling. That is important. And a lot of people don't hold that value like that anymore, but it is.
It is, and it took me a lot because I'm a straight shooter. Like I say things that it can be kind of cutting my words sometimes, right? But it's like
you told me I was ashy as hell.
No, I didn't. That's not the word, but that's how you heard it.
I didn't even care. She was like, "So this what you doing on your show?"
I was like, baby, let me help you out, girl.
But that shows that you are a straightforward person.
Well, I want somebody to say the same for me, but the thing is that not everybody can handle it straight. I know honesty can handle it just straight like that. Now, if it was somebody, she can handle it straight, Jen, no chaser. Like, but there's other people that no. So I adjust and I look and
you read your room.
I read the room, and that's a skill. That's not something that you get right off the top. You got to run that shit.
You gotta get cussed out a few times.
You know what I
get
mean?
embarrassed.
You know, it's one of those things. I mean, but as a confident young woman, I felt confident in speaking my opinion, but then I realized I'm like, not everybody's from where you're from. And even if you say it in some people might get rubbed the wrong way. So then how do you navigate that? And so I think on your path to earning that voice, I mean, you're going to have to, people are going to have to like you. And that is a skill. And I'm not saying everybody likes me, but it is part of that. You can't leave everybody, you can't just burn the room down.
The thing is emotional intelligence. I also think learning to be a great listener is very important, because if you really listen, you can map out everything in your room, your next move, this, that, whatever. But listening, I think, like I said, emotional intelligence is one of our biggest things, especially as women. We're created to be nurturers and feel.
Yeah.
We're created to feel. So to feel and not act is a skill set. That's something that you have to take some time to
develop. And it doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean any of that. It's actually means that you're strong, that you can withhold that. And even though, like I said, like when you gave me that example of somebody who deserved to, feel the wrath of honesty, and that would have been righteous, but it's like, is this the best move? Is this the plot on the board? Like, is this the next chess move? Maybe not. And you have to evaluate that. And sometimes you might make an error, you might slip up, but I had to decide that so many times in my career. Do I want to take this person all the way to HR? What they said to me was very discriminatory. Do I feel like dying on that hill today? Do I feel like it? I don't know. Or do I want to get some good sleep and not have to deal with these people breathing down I don't know. I have to decide. I shouldn't have had to deal with that, but it's the reality. You are going to get that, and you're going to have to navigate, and you're going to have to decide. You are. And I've had to do that many times. And and that doesn't make, I'm very strong for that. It's taken a lot for me to do that. But and when it's time, like, I'll tell you. Some people know exactly how I feel. Some people, you learn the people to avoid as well. Yeah. They're not worth your time. Like, don't even do it. Not even worth it.
I love it.
It's hard.
It is hard.
It's definitely a skill. It's not easy, because I'm used to telling people, like, from the show me state, I'm going to show you something.
It's a skill that I believe you have to feel it.
Yeah.
I lost my cool a few times and did not get called back for jobs. You know what I mean? Some of them I don't want to be called back. Yeah. But others I'm like, you know what? If I would have been emotionally intelligent and pulled myself out of it and looked at everybody's vantage point, that's really what makes a good director. Yeah. Someone that can empathize with other vantage points. That's why I try to read as much as I can, travel as much as I can, because it rounds my mind as a director. So I'm correct on all these different vantage points. But if you do the same thing that you do creatively, politically, or socially, if you have the emotional intelligence to put yourself out and do it, you'll be well ahead of the game. Well, she might feel like that because of this, and then because of this. And so that's not even me. She's doing that because of how this man is treating her. So how do I get around who I talk to get this man off her back?
It's another level. And there's some people who there's nothing you can do anything with. They're out to get you. There are people like that.
They don't want to see, they're jealous.
They really want you. I've seen that, because I'm like, girl, I ain't been nothing but like super pleasant. I don't speak to you. And so
they don't like you.
Exactly. And so then when you get called into the office and you're like, what? Like, what did I say? What did she say? She said that? That didn't even happen. So what do you go on from there? Like, do I try to do it back to her? No, I just ignore her. I stay away from her. I stay away from those kinds of people. There's some people you'll never be able to please, that will never get along with, and you can't. And so you have to measure it out, and you have to think about yourself and your health and your space, because it can be very stressful. It's not easy. Nothing is easy. You see, like I say on my Instagram, people are like, oh, you have so much fun at work. I'm like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's just what I show you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my page. That's what I'm advertising. But really, that's not how it goes every day.
I love it. Let's have some fun. You ready?
Let's do it. Okay, I want to have fun.
Would you rather?
Oh God.
Have the power to control fire or control ice?
Girl, I'm gonna go with fire, because I'm a fire sign.
What you talking about? I even asked you that. That was a bad question.
That's good.
Okay. Would you rather live in a world without music or without art?
It's crazy, because my mom's an artist. and living without her art would be so sad, but music really gets me through the day, and Wheezy, that really motivates me.
Ooh, music is hard. Woo. That's hard.
I'm a person of the spoken word. I love you, mother, but that's not my talent. So I'm gonna, oh God.
That's hard.
Girl, why you ask me that?
That's a hard one, yeah.
I'm gonna say art, goodbye. I played the flute in school. I was like, but it's, my mom can sing too. So there she sing to me. She sing me lullabies. So.
Yeah, music sometimes is healing for me, and I mean healing. So I don't know if I could let music
I can't go anywhere without my AirPods. I like to be in my own space. I like to listen and just be listening to something, and nobody knows what I'm listening to. And it's really helped me. When I was at KU, everybody knew me as the girl with the white AirPods, because I had the long white ones. And everywhere I go, I would literally be late to class if I didn't have my AirPods. But you know what? It's like I had to have them with me. I have to have my music, and I don't always have to look at art.
Yeah, I'm for real. And then what would you work out to? Oh my God.
I was like, girl, I would listen to that Jeezy music.
Yeah, I can't work out without music. Like,
no, I have to have the music. It really gets me through, because otherwise I'd be sick.
Girl, okay, here we go. Would you rather have the ability to teleport anywhere in the world but always arrive naked, or teleport with your clothes but only to places you've been before?
Oh my God. Girl, I'm gonna fly there anyway, so I'm gonna go with the clothes. I cannot be naked. That's crazy. Okay. I'm gonna fly to the places I want to go, so that I know when I pop up, I'm like,
I think that I would just put something in place. Like, hey, I can pay somebody to meet me at this longitude, this latitude. Facts, yeah. And I need you to bring me a robe.
Facts, yeah. Or just, or I'm gonna whatever's around me, I'm gonna wrap up a leaf, a little banana leaf or something like that in the tropics.
Hopefully not like in the middle of the street, like,
That's all I'm imagining it.
All right. So here we go. Marry one, sleep with one.
Don't say kill one.
Kill one.
No, I can't do that.
You can never do it.
How about slap one? Beat one. With a
beat one so they barely have a pulse left.
Oh my God, it's so violent on the Honesty Show. What?
70 Street style from the 70s. Here you go. You ready?
Please, yeah, just not kill, because I don't want
Kim Kardashian, Kourtney Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian.
Wait, did you say?
It's just hypotheticals. Let's do it.
I got one. I'm like, what are we talking about?
Well, they ain't fine. No, that's what makes the game fun. It's not fine. Here we go. Tom Hanks, Hugh Jackman, Denzel Washington.
Oh God! First of all, can I sleep with and marry Denzel? Like,
no,
mutually.
No. Yep.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. You know what? I gotta have some of that Alonzo, so I'm gonna sleep with Denzel. I'm gonna marry Hugh Jackman, even though I know he just got a divorce and stuff. So
well,
and then I'm gonna beat.
You're gonna kill.
I'm gonna beat Tom Hanks for letting Wilson get slipped away and cast away. Because boy, how you let that happen? No, I'm playing. Castaway makes me cry.
Castaway is amazing.
That's an amazing movie. I love Tom Hanks, but thank you for switching it up, because I'm like now Denzel, Alonzo, Training Day. That is one of the best looking men of all time.
Fine.
That's like him. Fine. And you should have added, what's his name? Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy. Jax, that's my guy too. I love him. He's, oh my God. Give me everybody. I'm like, I love my men.
Sometimes, because some of my women, when they come on, I don't want to offend, spouses or things like that. So I do women
right now. Oh, that's a fact. Yeah, but I don't have a ring on my finger at this moment.
So you could do what you want.
I'm going to do what I want, but within respect of the one that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, y'all heard it first.
Nothing crazy.
Let's be honest. Somebody waiting for Demetria. Okay.
I'm respectful. I don't do anything crazy, because it's like when you meet somebody who's really sweet and kind of nice, and this too. It's just like, we'll see. You just never know.
We'll see. And that's
But I'm speaking it.
Heavy on the we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, Demetria, it's that time. So this is what Demetria's going to do. She's going to look into the camera. She's going to start with, let's be honest. She's going to do a 60-second spiel of whatever she wants to do. It could have something to do with her career. It doesn't have to, but just something that she wants to get off her chest, that she wants to say to the world, that she wants to say to our viewers. This is the time for that.
Ooh.
So, when you look right into that camera right there, it's set for you, baby.
Let's be honest. People are way too afraid these days. Afraid of looking silly online. I see so much on Spiritual World of people talking about, I don't want to do this for a woman. They not deserving, or I'm not spending that on a man, any of this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, I feel like that's all rooted in fear of rejection. And I believe that the person out there for you is there, right? But fear is never going to guide you to them. And so I know that's true for me in my love life, but then also my career as well. And a lot of people who are afraid to be their authentic self, I just can't get with that. All of my life, I've put it on the line. I've put it on my line no matter the cost because of something that I knew that I believed in, what I know to be true and what is right. And so be the truest version of yourself. Don't be afraid to be called a stan or be shamed online. That's, life is so much more than that. Because I feel like fear keeps people from living their dreams. I mean, if I was afraid in my career to wear the things that I wore, wear my hair naturally, any of that, I wouldn't be who I am now. And who I am at this moment is who I've always meant to be. And I just would encourage people, anybody who's even trying to get into the field that I am, or just anything, just live fearlessly. It really will pay off, right? And if you bump your head along the way, so what? That's how you learn to get back up.
That
was it boring? I'm like, I could have went on there. Let's be honest. KC barbecue's better than Dallas barbecue.
no, that was amazing.
Well, it just means something to me. I think fearlessness is everything. I mean, you can't live in fear. And so many people try to encourage you to do that. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? I mean, what if the most amazing thing happens? And you always have to remember that silver lining. Like you got to see the light at the end of the tunnel and believe that it's there. If you don't believe it, nobody else will, and it will never happen. I do believe that you can speak things into existence, but you have to believe. You have to meet God halfway there.
I say this, I'd rather live a life full of oh wells over what ifs.
Yeah.
Oh, try it. Go for it. Fear is one of our worst enemies. Fear is the opposite of love. It's faith backing up. It's damaging.
Oh my God.
It hurts you and the people around you.
No one's afraid to get hurt. Everybody's so afraid to get hurt. And it's just like, so what? Like, I mean, people get...
But did you die, though?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, you were okay before, you're going to be okay after. It's going to be very painful. Life can be pain, but it's like, it can also be amazing too. But you won't get to that unless you...
get past your fear.
Throw the dice. You have to throw the dice. And it's scary.
It's scary, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Demetria, I am honored to have you on the show. This has been an awesome interview. As you know, I admire what you're doing. I'm for that go-getter spirit. It very much resonates with me. And this show is about that, sitting down talking to like-minded women that go and get it, just straight up. That. And so I am a fan of yours. I am watching you. I support you. I love that we got to have this talk. I'm sure there's a lot of people that had a lot of questions for you today that you just answered. So I hope you can come back and we can hang out again.
Well, this has been amazing. You asked some really great questions.
Yeah.
And the things that you were saying about your journey, I mean, it really touched me, and I'm just honored to be here. So thank you so much. And this was so much. This is like girl talk. I love this.
Go in the living room.
I know we're chilling. I know I had my wine over there just a second ago. I gotta get that refill after the show. I know.
After the show. Yeah.
It's the after party. Yeah. We're gonna have fun
after the party.
I know, but
Yeah.
I know you can't go that far. I know. Yeah.
Thank you. Give me some love.
Thank you so much.
This is my kiss.
I know.
They got me a kiss.
She was the third. I know.
All right, y'all heard it first here with Demetria. This is our media personality. This is our journalist. Yes. Right from the guts of Kansas City, and proud to say so. Yeah. Thank you.
You already know what's up. Thank you, Raul.
So much fun.
Yes. Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all next time.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I kinda like some of the drama, but only the kind that puts commas and bank statements on movie rosters. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I switch when I walk cause I won't. Business talk to like Obama. A hater, I feed him no karma. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.